Hey, this is Ashley Swartz, CEO and founder of Furious Minds. I've been privileged enough today to take part of the TubeMogul sponsored real-time buying for online video summit here at GroupM offices in New York. We had an incredible lineup of individuals. We had a large panel. Obviously, TubeMogul partook, Nielsen, IDG, Maxis, Xaxis, their in-house trading desk and private exchange provider, a few others. It was a live rail. Yep, and I think I got most of them. It was a great panel. So it was really interesting, learning there's this confluence of events where you have this situation where television is trying to actually digest and take on the fire hose of data that's coming at them to buy more intelligent TV. We heard that earlier in the week at another summit. And then they're still going to buy on GRPs, right? So this is creating a scenario where the planning and buying of media is becoming more decoupled and segmented than ever. On the digital side of the house, you have this dynamic use of data. That's how they buy performance media. But the reality is that at the end of the day, they're looking to perhaps buy on GRPs. And publishers are asking supply-side platforms and DMPs to give them the tools to enable them to sell and control their premium video assets like television does and create an upfront-like mechanic where they aggregate their video that is not customized or bespoke or tier 1 inventory or tier 2 inventory to something that can be sold at 80% sell-through sort of in the second quarter of the year, for example. So is this really what we want as an industry? Is this really how we accelerate and we create that hockey stick for online video? We become more like television? I think it's a really interesting question for us to pose and consider. We're looking at eGRPs or digital GRPs to allow us to make, media comparative, but the whole question of equivalency and is a individual that is watching as the same 30-second unit on a mobile video screen as value as one watching it on television. And what if they're watching it on TV, but they have the video, the mobile in their lap with which they're watching another video? It's becoming harder and harder to assess the value of an audience member or the value of an eyeball, as we call it in digital, and more difficult for agencies to adjust with the rapid and radical changes that are occurring in this space. I think what's really interesting that I walked away with is that we have this fear that when we talk about trading desks and DMPs and DSPs, it's this idea that all of a sudden there's this automation and everything is automatic and programmatic, and there's job loss and agencies are under threat. And the reality is that there is an incredible amount of work to be done. It's different kinds of work. It requires different talent mapping. More and more advertising is becoming about technology, and that is critical that we change the talent sets and the skill sets within our organizations on the agency side of the business to better serve our clients on the media side of the business. So the other thing that I also reflect is that what's consistent and often missing in these conversations is the importance of creative and how creative drives media performance and actually is critical in ensuring that there's success and ROI generated for our brand clients. I mean, that is what we hang our hat on as an industry, right? It's that beautiful 30-second that brought you to tears, or it's the Marlboro Man with which you grew up that, that Leo Burnett still talks about today in their meetings with clients, because that's what's memorable. It's the emotional connection that brands create with audiences and with their consumers, and they do that through the creative, not necessarily through the channel. The channel just changes the way the delivery mechanism, rather. So I think we're at an incredible state of change within the industry. This is not step change. This is sea change. We need to change the talent, the skills, the process of planning and buying. I think will become further decoupled and segmented within each of those parts. And at the end of the day, I think that we need to look back to where the Record Industry Association was 12 years ago in '99 when Lessig defended Napster. In that, at any point in time, if we dig our heels and we fight technology, we'll lose. What I think is amazing about the advertising industry right now is that we're embracing technology, in particular with the radical changes that are occurring in television, and we're hungry and have an appetite for what technology will enable us to deliver for our advertising clients. I think it's an exciting day. Every time I have one of these sessions with Beet, I learn more and more, and I'm incredibly grateful for Tube and GroupM for hosting us. Tune in and check us out later. Thanks. Between, what's the gas versus the brake on driving this innovation agenda, monetizing your content and your first-party data.